Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Now let's start. So today was a very interesting day. Shorts brought their game. So I want to give you a good breakdown of the data points, what shorts ended up doing, but more specifically, I want to give you a good overview of what is actually happening with Mullen's website. So I'm going to go over all that. So during the trading day, it did go down 4.37% after hours. That's going up a little bit. But it is to note that today was a little bit lower as far as volume, and big money was not necessarily getting in. As you can tell, based on both the dark pool transactions secondary market, Justin was a lot lower. But yet what came from shorts? So they increased around 3.5 million shares today. Whereas in my pre-market update video, I think it was around 770 if I remember. 770,000 of course, but it is almost a 25% short interest. So it has gone up quite a lot, which right now, it does work out to be almost 40 million shares. Cost to borrow is going up a little bit as well. So currently 192.06% still on the threshold list. So today is the 13th consecutive day. So we'll find out if something does tentatively happen tomorrow. But don't hold your breath. And just to put in perspective on how big shorts have been really getting into Mullen. So it looks like on May the 5th, give or take, short interest was around 8%. Like I said, post-split, it was around 8%. It temporarily showed up 125%, which got a lot of people very excited, showing that maybe was the true amount, including naked shorting. But still, aside from that though, it went up quite a lot. So over the last several weeks, shorts have just been massively getting in, taking advantage of kind of the ambiguous scenario that's been happening. And just a lot of the gray, because the market does not like gray. They like either black and white. They want it nice and laid out exactly what is happening, and unfortunately, especially what did happen yesterday with Lawrence and his live stream and a lot of just different things, a lot of promises as far as news and nothing really coming. It kind of doesn't really work in the favor of Mullen investors, and unfortunately shorts are very good for taking advantage of that. But still, during today though, there was no update from Lawrence. There were some screenshots of him communicating with some people over Twitter, which unfortunately he kind of comes off as defensive in a lot of those. But outside of that though, no Mullen news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So it is just following pure speculation at this point. But when it comes down to it, I just wanted to share with you some updates that Mullen's been doing. So I'm sure a lot of us already do know. Over the last, let's say, month, they have had around 3 different occasions where parts of their website just does not work. And that just recently happened as well. So as you can see looking at press releases, it does show the last update was on May the 18th, so temporarily getting rid of a lot of tentative news. Outside of that though, as far as under the Events tab, it did remove absolutely everything. So these are screenshots that were taken today, but it does look like they were resolved since then. So it kind of has everything. And on a side note, it looks like between June the 4th to the 7th, they're participating in the Electric Utility Fleet Managers Conference, which is fairly good for their commercial business and getting their name out there. But still, behind the scenes, it shows that something is definitely happening. And Mullen has really updated their website several different times, and some of which is for the better over the last 2 months. So when it comes down to it, that might be something coming down the pipeline, maybe just some additional updates, who knows. But when it comes down to them removing tentative news, this is what causes a little bit more fear once again, and especially when it comes down to Lawrence updates. So definitely not necessarily the best thing. And like I mentioned in my pre-market video, clearly there's just a little bit more of a tentative tension behind the scenes between Lawrence and David. But again, we're just sitting tight. If you do believe in Mullen and their bigger picture, take advantage of these discounted prices. But keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence. But even though despite shorts increasing as much as they did today, when you are, for instance, looking at the options activity, this is telling a different story. So for instance, today there was $165,000 in call premiums that were purchased versus $43,000 in puts. So people are clearly anticipating a very, very big upside with Mullen. And maybe it's surrounding some things that Lawrence have said, because he did indicate in yesterday's live stream that there was going to be some news that was going to be coming out on the 31st, or at least it was going to come to a conclusion, I guess on the 31st, but announced on June the 2nd. So again, you guys either believe that or not. It's up to you guys to do your own due diligence no matter what. But as far as some points to really watch for, so it is going up oddly after hours, so it's up around 1% now. But some really good points to watch for is currently around that 73-cent range. So it's kind of struggling to get over that after hours a little bit, but it's currently trading between this S2 and S1. So once again, just be aware that $0.65 is the next big support range for Mullen. And as of right now, looking at stochastic, you can see a little bit more of a bear segment starting today, and it is currently at 11. So in general, if there is some confirmation of some positive news or some other aspect, then this definitely can go up very, very fast. But as well, looking at momentum, number of retail investors have actually been holding and maintaining their position, and you can tell that right here. So once again, that might mean something fairly good. Over the last several days and based on even just the stock price, I think most retail investors have either been margin called and are out of Mullen, or they just kind of paper-handed and are out. So I think the Mullen investors that are in right now are in it for the long haul. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about Mullen stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.